closing, and I'll just briefly go over, because we've got about 10-15 minutes to go, but to go over the closes. And I was taught years ago that there were about 11 or 12 different ways to close a sale, and an enrolment is a sale. And the first one was the ask for it close, and that's when you get to the end of the presentation and say, does that make sense? Yeah. Would you like to join? Now this is the one that salesmen generally will not use unless it's very, very specific, because if you ask a yes or no question, you need to have structured the question in such a way that there is no way they could say no. Now that's the basis. Now if we go on to the test clause, the test clause is an agreement seeking question, and it's to test a person's understanding, test their understanding of what you're saying, test their connection with you, their rapport, their eye contact, where they are, and it's to all closing or test close questions are phrased in a way, for instance, say, this is our Aegis safety mat, it's great for balance and it's excellent for personal safety, and I'm sure your personal safety is very important to you, am I right? That's a closed question, that's not an ask for it, but it's a test clause, but it's the same type of question. But would they be sensible to say, oh no, I don't care about my personal safety? They wouldn't do it. So the question, you've phrased the question in a way which is, it's impossible to say no to it. And what we're trying to do with that question is to get the person nodding and agreeing. Because if they're constantly nodding and agreeing, when you come to every part of the recognition of what they do, they're nodding and agreeing. And your body language dictates your thoughts. We know that if you can create a bad thoughts in your own mind by hunching down, clenching your arms and frowning and looking down, and all you need to do is think about something that's negative, and you will enhance that feeling. We also know that if we look up, push our chest out, think positive thoughts, take a deep breath and say, yes, I can do this, that we'll create another environment. So what we're trying to do is, we're trying to control this person's body language by getting them nodding and agreeing, so that their body matches their voice, yes, 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 so that by the time we get them to the end of the process, we can assume the close, because, well, they're still in the room. They've not run out screaming because of the price. They're still in the room. So that brings me to the assumed clause. And there are three types of assumed clause. There is the basic assumed clause, which is the one I use, is, so does that all make sense? And they go, yeah, because they don't know I'm going to close it at this point. Does that make sense? Yeah, cool, right, let's do it. They're in. And then I start filling in the order form, which is our membership form. The alternative clause is another one, which is, there are two ways that you can do this. You can pay for the program in full, or you can pay for the program in installments. Which way is best for you? Now, I wouldn't really use that at the point of the close in that format, but you can say there's two ways to do this, and that's the third way, which we don't introduce, is not to do it. So that alternative clause, you can do it this way or this way. The way that you can't do it is any other way. You can pay monthly, you can pay in full. You can train on a Tuesday and a Thursday, or a Wednesday and a Friday. Which one is better for you? And you've just closed it down. And they say, well, a Wednesday and a Friday would be better. Or could I train on a Wednesday and a Thursday? Yeah, okay, we'll do it Wednesday and Thursday. And that's assumed, they've done it. The order form clause is where you just fill in the form as you're speaking to them. Say, right, so what's your name again? Yeah, okay, and where do you live? Yeah, you live there long? Yeah, brilliant, okay, thank you, that's right. And you just get to the bottom of it and say, right, just sign on there, and that's the order form clause. You just keep filling it in as they go along. The armbar clause is an interesting one, because this comes into where, if you find someone who maybe says, I can't really afford that, and you say, okay, well, if you could afford it, would you do it? So this is an armbar clause. If you could afford it, would you do it? Yeah, I would do it. Okay, I'm talking about £60 a month, or £100 a month, or you might say. You might say, I'm talking about £100 a month. How much more than you can afford is that figure? and they say, well, I can't afford more than about 80 or 60 or whatever they say. Okay, well, if I can do it for that price, do you want to do it? And they say, well, yeah, if you can do it for that price, okay. And you change the terms to match that that number that they've given you. Now, they don't all give you a number, you know, they don't all fall for all these sales strategies and tactics. That's not the way it goes. But if you get one more in every 5 or one more in every 10, you will have, if you get 10 people enroll every month of the year, you'll have 120 people. If you got an extra 10, you can have 130. And you look at what your new student value is, which is basically take the gross that you had last month and divide it by the number of enrolments you got. So for instance, Miss Mitchell said you did about 6-7 last month and you had 2 enrolments. So your new student value last month is 3,300, which is a great new student value. Unfortunately, you didn't have enough students. If you had about 10 students at that student value, then you would have had a mega month. All right, so there's a balancing off there. But the armbar is to say, I can't do it that way. If you could do it that way, would you do it? Because one of the things I'm looking for is before someone leaves the room, I want to know, are they dead or alive? Are they worth a second call, or are they really dead? And the way that I decide that very often is, if I armbar close them, and they say, oh yeah, I would do it. If they then say, oh yeah, but I really need to speak to my husband. If someone gives me the truth, what I've found from experiences, they stick to the thing. I can't afford it. No, I can't afford it. I've got about £30 a month. I can't do it £30 a month. I'm sorry. That's a shame. Tell you what, why don't you take the free 30 days, and then if anything changes, you know, and at least you'll have had 8 sessions in this month to build up your confidence. That's my gift to you. Why don't you take that? If they don't take that, then I know it's not a price issue. It's just there's something else. And if I can't find what that thing is, and my goal at the end of the presentation is to find out, if they don't enrol, to find out what that thing is. And if I can find it, I'll try and cure it. If I can't find it, I move on. What do we say? It's easier to give birth than raise the dead. The other clause, one of the other clauses, is the process of elimination clause. And our presentation, if you don't already know this, and it's structured in the way that it is, purposefully, that when we give 2 processes of elimination. First of all, we tell them about Black Belt leadership. It's a 3.5-year program. You get the 2 sessions a week. You get the advanced training. You get the laws of combat. You'll look at Delta. You'll look at the rules of 5. You get all this stuff. You get to train with higher grades. You'll test every 10 weeks. And you go, and that's deliberately designed to build up stress and pressure on that person. And then we flip to the positive start process. But I think that's going to be a bit too much, you know. But in a few weeks, when it makes sense to sit down and talk about this again, we'll look at that later. But for now, I think you'd be better fitted to go into the Positive Start program, where you get your free uniform, you get your license up until the 31st of July, you get 2 sessions per week, and we talked about you want Wednesday and Thursday, so you've got those 2 sessions. You're going to build your confidence. You have the Positive Start workbook, where you can start to analyse the changes that are going on, and it's a very powerful tool that you'll find. You'll be exposed to the laws of combat in basic detail, so you'll understand how the laws of combat fit with your laws of life, and you're going to build your confidence, your fitness, your strength. You're going to lose weight. You can expect to lose about 6 pounds in the first 6 weeks, so that's good. Now, does that all make sense? You've talked about the price. You can go into the price. So the way to do this is you give them the VIP clause, and then you say, does that all make sense? Yeah, great. Okay, let's do it. So once I've been through the process of elimination of everything they get, then I close it. I assume the clause. But if they say, oh yeah, I need to think about it. Okay. Well, I'm pleased you need to think about it, because obviously that means you're interested. Yeah? Am I right? Or am I wrong? Yeah? They say, well, no, I'm definitely interested. Good. Okay. And then I go through the process of elimination again. So let's look at what you're going to get. So it's fresh in your mind. You get 2 sessions a week. You get your free uniform. You get a license up until the 31st of July. I'm going to pay for that for you. You get you can train on a Tuesday and a Thursday. You've got all these people you can train there, and all the whole thing again. And it's right. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. So I just close it again. Now, if they've stopped me again, then I'll start to look at, they're not going to join tonight, well, let's look at another way. Okay, there's obviously something that's going on in your own mind. Is there something, and this is where we go into the lost sale clause. And the lost sale clause is where you want to actually find out, is this person living or dead? Are they a live prospect or are they a dead suspect? And if they're a live prospect, they're worth spending some time with. If they're a dead prospect, a dead suspect, they're just get them out of the building. They're not going to ever join. And you say, okay, well, you know, we've connected. I feel that we've connected tonight on this process. You know that you need what we've got. You know, we're going to build your confidence, and you've said that that's what you want. We're going to build a discipline into your life, which is like 2 sessions a week. We're going to show you how martial arts will build in that discipline into your life. You've agreed that, yeah? Do you think that we can do that for you? Yeah, okay. So, why are you not joining? Well, to be honest, it's just because, and you might then find, not every time, people are not always that honest, but you might find that they turn around and say, well, to be honest, and it might, whatever it is, and whatever it is, you say, okay, so then you go into the armbar clause. So if I could fix that and give you that, would that suit you? I'm doing a soft clause on this one. Yeah, okay. All right then. Give me a couple of minutes, and then I go to the balcony. And the balcony is where I take the pressure off, because sometimes people feel too much pressure, and I think Kath talked about this, putting them under too much pressure. People don't make good decisions under pressure. That's what I think. So we take the pressure off. So, well, if you excuse me a minute, I'll just make a phone call and I'll be back. And in that time, the pressure is off. They get a chance to breathe and think, really, do they want to join, do they not want to join? Then you come back, having made this phone call, whether you've made it or not, and say, okay, right, thanks for that. So, where were we? Are we on? Are we off? And you just find out with the pressure off. See if the decision has changed. Does it work every time? No, nothing works every time. The other one is the shut up. And the shut up comes from when you've made the closing question or the closing assumption, you do not speak until they do. They speak first. You don't say things like, yeah, I'm glad you're going to join because it's a really good decision, because, you know, and you'll get, no. You talk yourself out of the sale. You just shut up. The only thing you speak about is, so you live at such and such, yeah, okay, you live there long? Yeah, okay, that's good. And if you always lived around here, I'm using a direction strategy to take their mind away from what we're doing and onto something to redirect them away from the thing, just in case it's still an issue. So that's the shut up. Once you've made the closing assumption or question, be quiet. Don't then talk about why they made such a good decision and wealthy, or give it all up. And the last one on there, really, well, there is a couple, but we might not get a chance to do it. But one is the cautionary tale. And you might say, okay, well, the thing is that concerns me. You're going to go around and think about it, and I think that's a good thing because you are interested. And you tell them a cautionary tale. You tell them about someone who didn't do this thing, and for the reasons, you know, let's say we say, well, you're going to join us for confidence, yeah? And you feel that your confidence needs to improve. Am I right? Yeah, okay. Now, what do you think confident people do that people who lack confidence don't? And they might say, I don't know. So I'll tell you, because this is what I do for a living. They fail to make decisions. They put off decisions. And confident people make decisions. They have no fear. Why would I fear making a decision? It's just a decision. And I think what's happening to you right now is that you're bottling it, really. You're losing the ability to... Now, I might upset this person. I might lose them. But I'd rather know that they're dead than think that they're probably still alive. And so you find out. And you might phrase it in your own way, in a gentler way than maybe I've just said, because I'm short of time and I'm cutting corners. But that is the cautionary tale. You tell them about. Now, you can flip a cautionary tale. And you might flip it into, yeah, because, well, you remind me of somebody who actually joined us, and he had the same issues as you did. And he nearly backed out right at the back end, just like you're doing now. But he didn't. Something clicked in his mind towards, he thought, yeah, I'm going to give this a go. And he did. Maybe he trusted me, maybe he trusted the situation, I don't know. But he did it. And now, look out that window over there. There he is. He's a black belt now. And does he look tough? Does he look fit? And he is. He's fit and he's tough. You get the idea? So you think about how I'm delivering this, and the confidence that I'm delivering it with is, whether you feel it or not, you've got to fake it. The only way you can develop confidence is by pretending that you have confidence. So, and the final one on here is the Duke of Wellington clause, which I don't use that often, but I have used it. And the Duke of Wellington clause is, you say, okay, you're struggling to make a decision. Let's have a look. You could use it as a process of elimination. I'll show you how the Duke of Wellington used to make decisions. What he would do is, he'd put all the pros of why he should do it on one side, and he'd put all the cons of why he shouldn't do it on the other side. And then what he would do is, and say, okay, so let's do that. So what's the benefit of doing this? What are you going to get? You're going to get 2 classes a week, and you're going to get your free licensing insurance, you're going to get free uniform, you're going to train with professional instructors, you're going to be taken through the very, 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 very basics, so you're going to build your confidence, your fitness, you're going to lose weight, everything else. Yeah, and you get all that list built up of what they get, and you help them all the way. But when it comes to the cons, you say, okay, so what's the downside of it? And then you don't help them at all.